I am Megan Lewis and I am a postdoctoral researcher at Harper Adams working in the data science department. I think the coolest thing about my job in terms of technical sort of things that I get to do is being able to learn things like coding and develop my skills in that sense, but also experience sort of the different technology that can help you collect data and figure out how you can use that to help sort of solve problems. I've always had an interest in biology. That's sort of probably the main thing that drove me into the career that I'm in today, which probably sounds a bit weird considering it's data science. But with biology, I started out in wildlife conservation and sort of had an interest in the natural world. And during my PhD, I found myself getting more interested in the sort of data science aspect of it. And that's how I sort of found myself here today doing data science. I think there's a few things that are STEM related about my job role. So it's sort of surrounded by science, the sort of art of experimental design and thinking scientifically about how you might approach things. And then there's also the sort of mathematics side of things in terms of the statistics and the data analysis. But then there's also the sort of engineering technical side of things in terms of using different sort of technology to understand and answer these different questions. I think one of the coolest things I've been involved in so far is the River 7 partnership project I have been working on, which is looking at advanced wireless innovation in sort of rural areas. So that's involved getting a lot of technology, including camera traps and acoustic devices that are all sort of 4G Wi-Fi enabled. So we've been able to put them out around site and we can use them to collect data remotely, which is helping us understand more about our conservation and sort of wildlife that we have on the Harper Adams farm. Probably one of the most unexpected sort of things is sort of just how broad my role has been on a sort of day-to-day basis. So from sort of working at the computer doing coding and data science and statistics to being out in the field setting up camera traps or acoustic monitors, to learning new things that I hadn't sort of experienced before in my more scientific, hands-on applied conservation area that I was working in. So trying to, learn more about coding and APIs and all the fun sort of data science stuff, including things like AI and how that's working to help identify bird species. Yeah, I think that's probably the most unexpected aspect. I think for me the most useful has probably been the fact that I've been able to develop my own skills. So I'm sort of learning pretty much every day. There's something new coming up that I can learn, whether it be sort of general data science related or even sort of other coding, so like web development and things like that. And it's really enabled me as a person to develop my skills outside of my normal sort of scientific skills. Some of the most exciting things have sort of included again, being able on this River 7 partnership project to work with a wide range of different technology and gain insights into things like the wildlife that we might not have already had, but also just being able to sort of work with a large range of people and help other people solve issues that they're having. I cover quite a wide sort of breadth of projects. And one of the main ones is working with the Future Farm to try and make the data that they're sort of accumulating on a daily basis from their livestock and cropping systems, as well as the sort of biodiversity data and carbon data, so that we can make it more accessible and more open to the public and to sort of students and other stakeholders that might be interested in being able to use that data themselves for additional research or for sort of education and teaching. Some sort of other areas as well that I sort of find myself working on is these sort of projects with the River 7 partnership, so looking at advanced wireless technology and how we can use that to help understand more about the land that we're trying to manage, but I also will often find myself sitting down with PhD students and helping them with any statistical analysis problems that they might be facing, as well as helping out run sort of a data science sort of club where we can all sort of come together to sort of help learn more about data science. I think data science is really important when it comes to feeding the world, because data is everywhere, and if we're able to collect data and we look at the questions that we're trying to answer and collect the data associated with those questions, it enables us to make more data-driven decisions. And whether that's being able to save time because you have different sensors set out around a farm or sort of a rural environment where you don't have to go out and check on things as often, I think that's a really important factor. And I think sort of data science more recently is coming to the forefront of many industries, especially with the development of sort of artificial intelligence. But I think there's a big area that we can make progress in when it comes to sort of agriculture and data science and how we can use data-driven decisions to help feed the world. I think one of the things that sort of inspires me on a sort of daily basis really is, so I sort of grew up in the countryside and I was surrounded by farms, and I sort of worked on a farm during my summer holidays when I was younger. And I think that, combined with my general sort of interest in nature and countryside, sort of led to me wanting to look further into that, and sort of understanding the daily lives of farmers led me to want to sort of help understand how I could help them sort of make progress, whether that's improving their yields or improving their conservation, or ideally both. That was something that I'm sort of inspired by daily and want to help sort of achieve as much as possible.